Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly reading. This week there is a lot going on with the astrology, so I'm going to start with that and then I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards this week. So look, I think it's a bit of a difficult week this week. We have some intense energy with Mars and Sagittarius coming up to a conjunction, and it's almost exact today actually with Saturn. This is a very tense energy. It can cause problems in relationships with people, especially with males. I mentioned this last week and I'm mentioning it again because it's very, very relevant this week. There's a lot of Virgo energy at the moment, so it's all about practicality and the details and administrative work, looking after the details of your health, your life, the day-to-day routine, I'll just mention, if you haven't followed me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook, because if you're interested in the astrology, I go a bit more in depth with the weekly roughly every week I put an astro update, which is basically telling you about what the transits are doing and how they're affecting us, and I mentioned certain signs. So at this particular moment, the astrological signs that are having the most things going on and the most kind of intensity, I guess, are the mutable signs. That would be Virgo, Pisces, Gemini and Sagittarius. So also I want to mention this Thursday, the moon in Gemini is going to make an opposition with Saturn in Sagittarius and Mars in Sagittarius. So this is a very, very difficult energy this Thursday. It's probably depends where you are in the world. It could be Thursday night or possibly early Friday morning, depending where you are in the world. But this is a very, very difficult energy. The moon, receiving an opposition from these outer planets, Mars and Saturn, which I've known as very testing planets and very intense energies, and considering they're conjunct, this is very difficult. So what I would say is, first and foremost, be careful of getting into arguments with people and making things worse. Things might just happen on their own like that, and you might feel like you have no control over the situation. But just to try to kind of take a step back with it, if possible. Doing things to nurture yourself and look after your health is going to be really important this week because of these energies, and to sort of give yourself mental space where you can, because it's quite an aggressive sort of energy as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some things globally this week that are, could even have to do with I don't know if there's things to do with fires or possibly earthquakes or something like that, something to do with the earth, because of all the earth energy with the Virgo. And then particularly on Thursday with the moon making that opposition, I just think globally there's going to be some intensity going on. There has been a lot of intensity lately anyway, but I just think this week is a particularly difficult week. Saturn and Neptune are still in a square aspect, so this is also difficult. It's making us feel as though, or it's bringing an influence or an energy of a feeling of trying to struggle between making your dreams reality and the reality that is present right now. So you may be having a hard time bringing your visions into reality at this particular time. It might feel a little bit blocked with this energy. It's very much a blocked energy with Mars and Saturn conjunct. So, watch aggressive people, watch out for aggressive people, or even aggression or anger in yourself, because you could be feeling quite frustrated if you are someone that has any placements in mutable around 9 degrees. So 9 degrees of Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces or Virgo, anywhere in your chart. If you know your chart, you might be feeling that aggression. But on the positive side, the people that are getting some benefits right now would be anyone that's born towards the a little bit towards the later side of, or the later end of Earth sign. So if you were born around 21 degrees of Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, you will be feeling, you'll be getting some blessings at the moment, and it could come through work though, because it's Virgo, it's to do with work and routine or health, or you could be reaping some positive benefits with your health or with your work. So there could be abundance, but it could have hard work connected to it. So that's the most that I was going to say with the astrology. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do that through my Etsy shop, and I'll put a link below. Alright, so I'm going to go for a deck that I don't usually use. I'm going to use the Mary Queen of Angels deck by Doreen Virtue. So just move this a little bit. These are quite different to what I normally use, but I do like this deck, and I've had it for quite a while. Let's see. I'm going to pull, that one's popping out, so I'll put that there. I'm going to pull the 3 cards from each deck and then look at them together and see how they relate. So this is the Psychic Tarot Oracle, one of my favourite decks. Just feeling like something was back here. Where am I? This one. And another one I haven't used for a while, the Rainbow Oracle by Jasmine Safi. It's quite sort of beautiful images in this one. I'm just going to have to move everything back a bit because I think I don't have enough room here. Okay. That's better. One. Okay, so let's see what we've got this week. I feel like I just want to say there's some anxiety around. That's the other thing. So do what you can to help yourself with anxiety, or if you feel you're picking up on negative energies. Rest and rejuvenate. Oh wow, okay, interesting. So the first card is truth. I'm lovingly honest with myself and others. Okay, so it's about communication, and there's a very strong communication energy this week, especially from Thursday when the moon's in Gemini. And interestingly, you know, I'm thinking about the astrology again because it actually relates. When that moon makes the opposition with Mars and Saturn, there could be conflicts with people this week around Thursday. So you may have to speak your truth about something. And this might not be easy, or it might be to the point of where you're so frustrated that you've tried to deal with the situation in a peaceful way and just you're still not being heard. So what this is about is just speaking your truth and allowing yourself that opportunity to speak your truth. And I feel like there could be long-standing issues here, maybe in relationships or in family connections where things have been going for a long time, you know. And so maybe the frustration builds up with this Mars-Saturn conjunction. And, you know, I feel like it's just really important for you this week to try to speak your truth in a way that is just you being honest and saying this is what I'm feeling, not so much blaming the other person, but saying this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm experiencing, and knowing that that is the truth for you, and not letting anyone tell you, oh, that's not how you feel, because it's your own feelings. So, you know, everyone has different opinions, but someone can't tell you that, you know, what you're feeling is not true when you're actually feeling it. So, if that makes sense. So it's about getting these emotions out. And the next card is Rest and Rejuvenate. So that speaks for itself. I did say that because, again, like last week, there was anxiety building, but this week it's even more intense than last week. So obviously the picture is this person out in nature, meditating, connecting with Mother Earth and connecting with beautiful, peaceful energies. And there is something about when you get out into nature where you can just release the mind chatter and get back into the heart center and just feel that sense of calm. And yeah, if you're like me and you live in a busy city, it can be difficult to make that time, but all the more important. And so this is a reminder to myself as well, because I need to do this as well, because we get so busy, you know, in the routine, and we've got so many demands on us these days, and life is so much more complicated these days with technology and the way it's so interconnected with our lives, and it's not as easy to just get outside, especially if you live in an apartment, you don't have a backyard, or if you know, as I said, live in a very busy city and you're working constantly, it can be very difficult. But what it's saying is if you make the time this week, it'll be rewarded. You know, maybe on the weekend, make time to get out into nature and just feel that connectedness and that sense of peace. Lay down on the grass. You know, I find that when I do that, when I lay down on the grass or I sit down on the grass bare feet, it just gives you that extra feeling of peace, and it's just a natural way of connecting to something bigger than one's own mind, which is where, you know, we get stuck in our minds. We can get that mind chatter just can drive you crazy because it's just always changing and there's always looking for problems, or, you know, anxiety resides in the mind there and it goes into the body. So it's about stepping out of that energy and bringing more peace into your life. And then the last card, I'm just going to move this over here, is mind shift. Well, that's an interesting one. It says struggle dances to the tune of the mind. Well, I was just saying that. How funny. Ease flows with the tune of the heart. Oh, wow. So that I didn't even see that message. I wasn't looking at it. So that totally relates to what I was just saying. Getting connected with the heart center. And, you know, it's a practice. You have to practice this because we are so used to, in Western culture especially, and in a very masculine-driven society, we've come to sort of value the mind over the heart, and we've come to kind of, you know, lean on the mind over the heart rather than have them both working together. And really the heart level is under sort of valued and under used in a way, which is probably part of why the spiritual movement is so important, is because people are trying to access more of their heart center, you know, when it's authentic, and get more into their intuitive selves and their feeling selves, you know, which is like what nature is. It's all about the feeling level in a way, rather than mental constructs and logical, analytical things. So also because of the astrology with all that Virgo, it's very analytical energy. Virgo is such an analytical sign. It's a very critical sign. And, you know, it can be a bit of a dry energy in that it's very mental and cerebral. So we'll all be feeling this energy, whether conscious or subconscious, you know, because of all the astrology at the moment. And so what I'd say is, obviously this week it's even more important to try to disengage the mind a little bit and just kind of, you know, be in your physical body. So doing things like yoga, exercise, getting out in nature and connecting with like meditation or creativity as well. Creativity is really good for getting in a flow of intuition. So, yeah, so in this picture I feel like she's really relaxed the mind here and she's really in the heart. Also music is another way to release the hold of the mind and the worries of the mind and the constant thoughts. Okay, so that was the reading for the week. I hope you enjoyed that, and hope everyone has a great week. Talk to you next week. Thanks so much. Bye.